In the forests of the Russian Far East, winter does not arrive quietly. It closes roads, buries rivers, and turns the landscape into a white maze of silence. For months, temperatures remain far below freezing. Snow covers the ground so completely that every movement leaves evidence. And somewhere inside that frozen wilderness, the largest cat on Earth is hungry. The Siberian tiger once roamed across a vast part of northern Asia. Today, illegal poaching, shrinking forests, and the loss of prey have pushed the species to the edge. Fewer than 500 are believed to remain in the wild. That sounds like a number. Out here, it feels more like an absence. One male may walk for days without crossing the scent of another. His territory can stretch across nearly 1,800 square kilometers, an area so large that if he were paying property tax, even a tiger might reconsider the lifestyle. He weighs close to 200 kilograms. His shoulders are heavy with muscle. His paws are wide enough to keep him from sinking too deeply into the snow, and his winter coat is thicker and paler than that of tigers living farther south. He is built for cold. Unfortunately, being built for cold does not mean being fed by it. To maintain his body, he may need around 10 kilograms of meat in a day. But in winter, almost every animal still moving through these forests is alert, lean, and very interested in not becoming breakfast. Deer listen for the soft compression of snow beneath his paws. Wild boar travel in groups and defend themselves with tusks. Even small animals seem to have received a detailed memo explaining exactly what a tiger looks like, so he keeps walking. Each step costs energy. Each failed hunt costs more. A tiger can survive several days without food, but hunger changes the mathematics of risk. The longer he goes without eating, the more willing he becomes to investigate dangerous possibilities. A faint smell drifts between the trees. Wild boar. The scent is old, but not very old. He lowers his head and follows it through a stand of birch, past a frozen stream, and into thicker forest. Several animals passed this way. One of them was large. For a tiger, that should be good news. For the boar, probably less so. He moves carefully, placing each paw where the snow is firmest. His striped coat, so obvious in a zoo, almost disappears among the dark trees and bands of winter shadow. But the trail fades. The boar have changed direction, perhaps catching his scent before he caught theirs. They have moved into rough ground, where the snow is deeper and the undergrowth thicker. Another opportunity gone. Then another scent reaches him. Bear. A hungry Siberian tiger may sometimes attack a bear, especially a smaller one. But a bear is not an easy meal. It is a meal with claws, dense muscle, and a strong objection to being eaten. Still, hunger is an excellent negotiator. The scent leads him to a rocky slope. Somewhere beneath the snow, there is a den. Black bears in this region often enter hibernation before the coldest months arrive. Deep inside a cave, a sleeping bear would be vulnerable. It would also be several hundred kilograms of badly needed food. For the tiger, this is the closest winter comes to offering home delivery. He circles the entrance. Remote cameras reveal what he cannot see. Months earlier, the bear squeezed into the deepest chamber of the cave. The tunnel narrows sharply and is too small for the tiger's shoulders. He pushes his head into the opening and claws at the frozen soil, but the bear is beyond his reach. For once, being the largest cat in the world is not an advantage. Inside the cave, the bear remains asleep, protected not by speed or strength, but by architecture. The tiger waits. Perhaps the bear will shift, perhaps another animal will appear. Perhaps the universe will remember that he has been walking all day and provide something less complicated. Nothing happens. Eventually, he turns away. This is how many winter hunts end, not in violence, but in quiet disappointment. The forest does not reward effort. It only rewards success. Yet the tiger continues. He checks ridges, riverbanks, and game trails. Some days, he finds nothing. Then, after hours of walking, a group of wild boar appears at the edge of a clearing. The wind is in his favor. He lowers his body, almost disappearing into the snow. A young boar strays slightly away from the group. 30 meters, 20, 10. Then a bird calls from a branch above him. The boar lift their heads. The tiger launches forward. Snow explodes beneath his paws. The herd scatters. Adults turn toward him, tusks lowered, while the younger animals rush for the trees. A tiger cannot waste energy on a long pursuit. If the first attack fails, the hunt is usually over. This time, one young boar slips on the frozen ground. The tiger reaches it before the others can return. The struggle is brief. For the first time in days, he will eat. He drags the carcass into cover. Ravens gather in the branches above, watching with the patience of animals that have never paid for a meal in their lives. A large kill may feed him for several days. Foxes and birds will take what he leaves behind. In winter, almost nothing is wasted. For now, he has survived. But his future depends on more than hunting skill. A tiger can avoid bears. It can endure storms. It can cross frozen rivers and travel enormous distances in search of prey. It cannot understand a wire snare hidden beneath the snow. It cannot outrun a bullet, and it cannot raise cubs in a forest emptied of deer and boar. Protecting the Siberian tiger means protecting the entire landscape around it. The trees, the rivers, the prey, and the wilderness corridors that allow one isolated animal to find another. As long as these forests remain connected and safe from poachers, the tiger still has a chance. Farther north, the trees begin to thin. The forest gives way to open tundra, and the cold becomes even more severe. Temperatures can fall to -50 degrees Celsius. Winds sweep across hundreds of kilometers with almost nothing to stop them. For weeks, the sun barely rises, yet the darkness is not complete. Above the tundra, the northern lights ripple across the sky. Charged particles from the sun collide with gases in Earth's atmosphere, creating curtains of green, violet, and red. From the ground, they move like silent flames. From space, they form glowing rings around the polar regions. It is one of the most beautiful displays on Earth. It is also completely useless for keeping anything warm. Below the lights, a herd of musk oxen moves across the snow. Musk oxen are survivors from another age. Their ancestors lived beside mammoths and woolly rhinoceroses during the last ice age. Many of those giants disappeared. Musk oxen remained. Beneath their long outer coat lies a layer of soft wool. Together, these two layers protect them from temperatures that would kill many other large mammals. They look almost designed for winter, low to the ground, broad-bodied, and covered in enough hair to suggest that grooming was abandoned several thousand years ago. But even this protection has limits. Early spring is the calving season. The snow is still deep. The wind is still dangerous. Yet the herd must give birth before the short Arctic summer begins. The calves need time to grow strong enough to survive the next winter. One female stands apart from the group. Beside her lies a newborn calf, wet, trembling, and only minutes old. For a few moments, it does not move. The mother bends low and licks its face, clearing fluid from its mouth and nose. She nudges its ribs. The calf lifts its head, then drops it again. Standing is its first great challenge. There is no warm nest here, no shelter. A muskox calf must rise quickly or lose too much body heat. It pushes with its front legs. Its hind legs slide out beneath it. It falls into the snow. The mother nudges it again. The calf tries a second time, then a third. Each attempt looks less like the beginning of a majestic Arctic life and more like a badly assembled piece of furniture trying to understand gravity. But slowly, the legs begin to cooperate. Within a few hours, the calf is standing. By 6 hours old, it can follow its mother. The herd moves toward a windswept ridge where fresh grass may be exposed. The calf stays close to its mother's side, sheltered by her body and by the adults around them. For now, the herd is its entire world, but they are not alone. Several kilometers away, a brown bear has emerged from hibernation. It may have spent 6 months inside its den, surviving on stored fat. Now it is lighter, weaker, and intensely hungry. In spring, food is scarce. Berries have not yet grown. Rivers may still be frozen. A newborn calf is small, slow, and rich in calories. The bear follows the herd from a distance. At first, the musk oxen do not see it. The bear uses low ground and ridges to hide its approach. It stops whenever an adult looks in its direction. 300 meters. 150. The wind carries its scent away from the herd. At 10 meters, the bear charges. The musk oxen react instantly. Adults turn to face the threat, horns lowered. In a defensive circle, the strongest animals stand on the outside, while calves remain protected in the center. But panic creates gaps. The herd surges across the snow. A calf becomes separated from its mother. It runs after the nearest adult, but at only a few hours old, it cannot recognize every member of the herd. It follows the wrong animal. The bear changes direction. Now the calf is alone. The chase is short but desperate. The calf stumbles, regains its feet, and cries out. An adult female turns. For a moment, she seems ready to confront the bear. But another calf is beside her, and the herd is already moving away. The bear closes in. Then 2 adult muskoxen charge from the side. Their horns force the bear to turn. It swipes at one of them, but the adults hold their ground. The calf escapes. only just. By the time the bear withdraws, the herd has moved several hundred meters away. The calf stands alone in the snow. It calls. The sound is small, almost lost in the wind. There is no answer. A young calf cannot survive long without milk or the protection of the herd. Even when predators fail, cold and exhaustion may finish the job. It tries to follow the tracks, but the snow has been churned by dozens of hooves. Every direction smells of musk ox. The calf walks a few steps, stops, calls again. Far ahead, its mother hears something. She turns away from the moving herd. For several seconds, she stands still, listening. Then she calls back. The calf lifts its head. The response comes again. It begins to move toward the sound, slowly at first, then faster. The mother leaves the protection of the herd and runs back across the snow. When they finally meet, the calf presses against her side. She lowers her head and touches its back with her nose. There is no dramatic celebration, no music in the tundra, just warmth, milk, and the simple fact that the calf is no longer alone. The bear moves on. It too is trying to survive. There is no cruelty in its hunger, and no mercy in the herd's defense. On the tundra, every life depends on another life losing something. Many muskox calves will not survive their first year. Some will be taken by predators. Others will be lost to storms, illness, or starvation. But survival has never required every calf to live. It only requires enough. Enough calves to reach adulthood. Enough mothers to return each spring. Enough strong adults to form a circle when danger appears. And enough open land for the herd to keep moving. Under the northern lights, the musk oxen continue across the tundra. Far to the south, the Siberian tiger patrols its forest. Both live in landscapes that seem almost empty. Both survive because they are built for extremes. And both remain vulnerable to changes they cannot understand. The cold is ancient. Predators are ancient. Hunger is ancient. But roads, rifles, traps, and disappearing habitat are new. These animals have endured ice ages, darkness, and winters that seem to have no end. Their greatest challenge now is whether we will leave them enough wilderness to endure us.